Morris and Dr. Jonathan, who actually introduced me to
The twins. The twins.
The twin. Yeah, well, this time, oh yeah, Dr. What the heck? How come it was, so Dr. J is him also. Okay. And Guillermo was the guy that made me cry with the one, anyway, the one that showed you the video anyway. Okay. So tell me when you're ready. I'm ready to go.
Okay, it looks like it's about to go.
Okay.
It's saying we've been okay. Here we go.
Now I see it.
Did it go live on Facebook? Yes,
yeah,
we
I see the logo.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So you can see my screen? Oh, you see it on there. Okay, great. Let me record it here as well. I'm gonna mute everybody real quick.
Perfect.
Welcome on Facebook. Right? Yeah, welcome on Facebook. Let me mute everybody real quick.
It's hot.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As soon as I do the intro.
I'm gonna make you a host also, Jerry. Just give me 1 second. I'll make you a co-host. Right there. Boom. You could unmute yourself.
Done.
Yeah. So I didn't mute everybody like permanently. So just, be aware if somebody.
Yeah, no, I got it. I'm
by accident or whatever. Yeah. And then I'm going to click record here on the Zoom and then take it away. I'm ready.
Sure.
Okay. We're good.
Ladies and gentlemen, so thank you for coming this evening. So today I got my mom over here and we're going to hear from her a little later on. But I'm happy to say that if you've been invited here, it's for the only purpose of helping you guys, helping your loved ones in a variety of ways, not just with your health, but also with your wealth. Because realistically, if you live longer, you're going to need to be able to finance it, right? So if you're looking for one of those two things, health and wealth, then you're in the right place. We're going to hear from a gentleman that I met just a few weeks ago, but we definitely kindred spirit, and it's a real family man who literally has been extremely successful in this industry of people. This is the people industry where we share information, and he's been able to be a seven-figure earner, which is a goal for most people. And our so-called team leader, not so-called, another gentleman that, a part of our team, he's getting ready to hit, $10 million. And I'm saying that not to brag, but just to entice you to believe that it's possible. Even during these times, I personally, have been able to get something. And no, it's not a check, but I'll talk about this later on. So Willie Morris and Digna, these people are dynamos in the industry, very well known in a previous company that was not easy to earn income. And I don't know what else to say except that I'm very excited and I'm very honored to call him now a younger brother because I am a little older. So let me just shut up. We're going to listen to the man of the hour, Mr. Willie Morris.
Awesome. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you so much. Well, you keep taking the Isagenix. You could probably pull it off as being my younger brother soon. So, but thank you so much. Jerry, I want to give it right back to you. It's been an absolute honor in a very short period of time. And this is what I love about this profession of network marketing in particular, where people work with people on a level that really is not seen in any other profession or workplace. And we really get to, know each other and all that stuff. And it's been an honor to work with you and get to know your heart and how passionate you are about helping people and how savvy you are about business and the discipline that, that it took for you to become, a 10-time world, champion martial artist is incredible. And so I'm just really looking forward to what, you're going to do with what everybody's going to see tonight and make a positive impact in the world as well. So I was going to share the screen first, but let me tell you something. 2 minutes, because I think it's really important. I was young and I was experimenting. I've actually experienced homelessness. I've attempted suicide because I didn't want to continue living the way that I was living. And in a nutshell, I tell you that because when I got to a specific place in my life where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, I asked somebody that I knew could help me, if they would. And they said yes. And basically that has been an attribute to my success, is that anybody that had what I wanted and they were willing to help me, I took in that information, I implemented, and I was able to get different results in my life. And so before I talk about our network marketing career, I also, from there, I went into corporate America and I became employable. And it wasn't necessarily easy to do when you don't have a good, track record. And through the grace of God, I was actually given the opportunity to become a project manager for Grand Central Terminal. And this was about 19 years ago. And I was given that opportunity, and it was the first time ever that I had an opportunity like that. And I took it as if my life depended on it. And I did really well. And actually 19 years later to date, they still utilize some of the stuff that I implemented back then to help the terminal run better. And I'm very proud of that. But I started to shortly afterwards feel the glass ceiling, the limitations, of corporate America. And no offense to anybody that might be a part of corporate America. But I began to pray, and my prayers were, is this it? Like I really felt limited. Like I had to show up when they said, I can only go on vacation when they said. I started to realize they were determining how much my value was worth. And I knew that I could do more. Long story short, I was actually wound up replaced by my boss's godson. And I was their top profile guy. And then I was offered an opportunity to go to the Museum of Modern Art. Rockefeller Center. And I declined that opportunity 16 years ago. More money, bigger title. But my wife and I decided that we were going to go into business for ourselves. And if we were going to fail and if we were going to struggle, then it was going to be on us. But if we were going to succeed, it was going to be on us. And there was going to be no limitation. And so we got into this profession, we learned, and it's been a dream come true. It's been beyond our wildest dreams. After 6 years is when we literally became 7-figure income earners in this profession, and 7 years of going to college. That's what I consider it. And I was able to retire my wife from a 6-figure income and to be able to come work from home. I'm working from home, building a family from home, traveling the world. I mean, just, it's been an absolute, dream come true. And so we've been involved with Isagenix now for about Can anybody identify? And then on top of that, in the morning, it wasn't like she was full of energy either. She was peeling herself off the bed. So when we heard this information and we understood that we were swimming upriver, which we're hoping you're going to understand, that it wasn't necessarily our fault in a sense. You know, there were some conditions that were actually working against us. And so this information made absolute sense to us. And you're going to learn about these two products that absolutely revolutionized our lives. And within 30 days, my wife's hair, skin, nails, lips, I mean, her energy levels, measurements in her body, everything began to shift. And she had energy to burn. And me at, 51, I proved to myself that I'm physically more stronger than I've ever been in my life, including in my 20s. Okay. So the next question is, well, that's the Forever Pack. And I mean, it's never been simpler than this program right here. And that's why a guy like Jerry Fontanez got so excited. He said, because anybody could do this. You know, if we were all had to follow Jerry Fontanez's regimen on a daily basis, we'd all be unhealthy, because the man is just so disciplined, but this is simple and it's never been more profound. So the next question is, what do you know about telomeres? Experts are saying that this discovery about telomeres is the greatest discovery of our time. Okay, and I'm going to explain. There's no hype at all. A Nobel Prize is actually associated with this research. Okay, so the telomere is the tip of every chromosome in every cell in our body. It actually keeps the DNA together. So when the telomeres begin to shorten and unravel, the DNA begins to separate, and the memory starts to, it loses memory, and it starts to malfunction. So think of like a computer when it gets viruses and it's not working properly. We say, oh, this thing's got a bunch of viruses or whatever. We don't even know what's going on half the time. But if it gets too bad, too many viruses and too much damage, then we say the computer crashed. And that's called senescence of the cell. That's the death of a cell. If a cell dies, you lose the memory of that cell. And experts are saying when telomeres shorten, bad things happen. And it is associated to every degenerative disease on the planet, whether it's associated with any kind of skin condition, throat, breathing, whatever it is, any kind of, diabetes, whatever. Shortening of the telomeres makes our body vulnerable to, to these conditions that, they've placed labels on, but it's associated to the damage that's happening to the telomeres. Okay. In fact, we've all been, and what's happening is that Bill Andrews, and I'll get to that, is that he noticed the shortening of these telomeres, right? And then he wondered, why aren't they healing themselves? So if you believe that the body has the capacity to heal itself, you'll have no problem appreciating this science. Okay, so he noticed that they weren't healing themselves. We as a society became, we started to accept, because people told me after 50, they said it's all downhill from here. So that picture on the bottom is what we all kind of, accept to be our future reality, right? However, with this accelerated shortening of the telomeres that we're experiencing because of the chemicals that we're all being inundated with.
Willie, we have a problem because there's no screen. They see a blank screen. We don't see your video share.
Gotcha.
We see a little box in the bottom. Yeah, now we see it.
Really? Okay, let me try this again. Sharing is paused. Bring your share window to the front.
Yeah, and you had a box that was in the front.
Yeah, I don't know why. Okay, hold on one second. Let me try that again.
I think everybody here is a veteran.
Okay.
All right, so, all right, we got one or two things. Either we do cut take two, or we continue from here.
How many people we got? Okay, so is everybody a veteran so far?
Everyone that's here, everyone's a veteran except for a client of mine, a customer who just got his his package with says Joshua there. So if we did cut take two, it wouldn't be a problem. I mean, honestly.
If you
But in
want,
fact-
what do you want to do? You want to go? You want to go into the compensation plan? Answer any questions?
No. What I mean by cut take two is that I think we have to take that from the top. To be honest with you.
Okay. We can.
So I'll go to the room. We'll have the green screen, and cut
Perfect.
take two.
Okay, cool.
Can you? Yeah.
Yeah, let me stop the share.
Hey, it happens. You was flowing good.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the clock, and we're doing pretty good on the
It's
clock.
good.
Too.
I'll go. I'm now warmed up. I'll go a little
All right,
fast.
all right. So I'm gonna go to the room real quick because as you can see now, what we did was we went to another location. And hey guys, this happens, right? We went to the Keishan, and I don't think it's the same effect. Let me see.
Yeah, the back. Your back. Yeah. It's not.
Yeah,
showing.
So we have to address that issue. Another thing is wealth. A lot of people not getting the income that they had just a few months ago that might not have been enough to even get to the end of the week, or I should say week to week you was working. So that's a sad situation there too. So I got together with a team by the grace of God that are very, very sharp. And I'm excited because usually, it's not easy to become successful without having help. Teamwork makes the dream work. And I believe that most people, since they don't have a team, they live a dream called a nightmare. And this is a nightmare what's happening right now. But I believe the best is yet to come. And that being the case, just a few weeks ago, I had an opportunity to meet some incredible people. And one in particular happens to be here. He's going to be sharing some wonderful information that has me so excited. Anyway.
You just can't hide it.
Even my mom's really happy. So the bottom line is that Willie Morris knows exactly what it is to be successful in this industry. Him and his wife, Degna, have done it. They've earned 7 figures with a company that was not easy to do. And I'm just going to put a hold on that right now because the fact of the matter is that he's the person that knows even more than I do. And I'm going to pass the mic over to him. And whatever questions he has afterwards, we shall answer them. Take it away, Willie.
Awesome. Thank you, Jerry. Really excited to be here as well. And I appreciate you. I want to give it right back to you. It's been an absolute honor in a very short period of time. We've connected really well. We have a lot of core philosophies that align, and I'm just looking forward to seeing the impact that you're going to make in other people's lives because you appreciate the value of what we're going to show people here today, and the impact that it's gonna make in world health and also in world wealth. For those that are interested as well. So I'm going to jump right into it. Listen, I'm originally from New York, and I'm going to give you the short version. I think it's really important before I dive into this. Originally from New York, I've never been to high school. I don't have an extensive educational background. I actually wound up by luck of a draw, God sent. I was actually given an opportunity to be a project manager at Grand Central Terminal. me out. And that assistant, I didn't know, was my boss's godson. And he actually wound up replacing me shortly after, and then I was offered an opportunity to work at Rockefeller Center as a project manager, bigger money, bigger title, the whole 9 yards. And my wife and I made a decision that day, that we wouldn't take that job and that we would go into business for ourselves 16 years ago, and my wife stayed with her corporate job, and my job was to build a business that could actually replace her six-figure income as well as mine, and build a business from home and raise a family. And I'm proud to say within 6 years, I was building businesses and I was doing really well, making enough money to replace my income. But by the 6th year, I was actually able to replace my wife's six-figure income, bring her home. It's one of the things that I'm really proud about, most proud about. And so she could become a full-time mother to our children. And we both, at that point is when we started generating 7-figure income from home. And our why today, is to help more people improve their health, but also improve their wealth for those that are interested. So we're going to go through some information relatively quickly. If I would encourage you to eliminate all distractions that you possibly can. Jerry, if you could tell me that you can see my screen, that would be greatly appreciated. I believe you can, but if you could give me a little.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So the first question is, what do you know about telomeres, right? We're going to jump right into this. What do you know about telomeres? First of all, 99.9% of the people on the planet don't know anything about telomeres. And any of them that do, they don't know how valuable they are to our overall health, including doctors. And mainly, I believe, is because they don't really have a solution for it. So why focus on something and publicly announce it if you don't have a solution? Well, telomeres are the tips of every single cell, every single chromosome in our bodies, right, in our cells, and they hold the DNA together. They're the tips, like a shoelace, like the tip of a shoelace holding it together, right? And when it begins to unravel, the DNA starts to separate. Now, if you thought of it like a computer, just think about a computer's memory separating. And if the computer's memory is separating, it starts to malfunction. Well, the same thing starts to happen when telomeres shorten, okay? And experts are saying when telomeres shorten, bad things happen. They are saying that every single degenerative disease is correlated with the shortening of the telomeres. Okay, it makes the body vulnerable. Just like in a computer, they start to separate, the cells start to separate. We say when there's a virus and it's attacking the computer, it's not functioning appropriately. When it gets too bad, we say the computer crashes. Well, in humanity terms, if a cell dies, we call that senescence of the cell. That's death of the cell. And it can't serve the body, okay? So it malfunctions. So it makes the body vulnerable. So every single degenerative disease, whether it's, skin, with the lungs, with any kind of, different kind of diseases, whatever it is, right? You name it. ALS, Parkinson's disease, just go down all the list. They're all associated with lengthening of the telomeres. And so what's happening is, or shortening of the telomeres, what's happening is that, Bill Andrews, who you're going to hear about, the geneticist, he realized that, shortening of the telomeres was natural to happen because of certain conditions, but he was wondering why they weren't naturally healing themselves. And he began to discover that we're being inundated with chemicals, in today's world, whether it's in the air, water, but mostly in food, and even in the pharmaceuticals as well, chemical based. And it's causing accelerated shortening of the cells, of the telomeres. Okay. And now today in our society, like I was told when I just hit 50 a year and a half ago, that it's all downhill. Right. And I'll make another example. If you're talking to somebody and you ask them how old they are, let's say the person says they're 40. And in your mind, you're like, damn, you look old for 40, right? That has everything to do with the length of their telomeres. And if somebody's older and they look younger, that also has to do with the length of their telomeres. So there are ways that you can slow down the shortening of the telomeres, but this discovery has actually proven to reverse the length of the telomeres, okay? But what's really heart-wrenching is that in today's world, because of all the chemicals, they're actually finding babies in the womb with telomeres already shortening, which shouldn't be, right? And even kids and teenagers and all these illnesses that now children have that only used to happen for older adults, right? As the body broke down in older age and it made it more vulnerable. But it's happening to kids, okay? And so along comes Bill Andrews, and he identifies an enzyme called telomerase, all right? So you just learned about telomeres, and you're learning about telomerase. In 1994, a 13-page article was written in Popular magazine, longest article ever written in that magazine. He was known as the man that would stop time, okay? And so he was asked, and he had said, that he was going to cure aging, in a public place. He said that to a group of people. They said, "You're gonna cure aging?" He said, "Or die trying." Okay, and so he identified in a petri dish that with activating that enzyme in a human cell in a petri dish, he activated the enzyme, and he found that the telomeres could be lengthened based on how much he can activate that enzyme. He shared his research with Harvard University that he could lengthen the telomeres, and they took that information and they theorized, right, Bill Andrews and with Harvard University, that a gentleman that may have gotten elderly and his telomeres were shortened, or at any age, if they lengthened the telomeres, what would happen to this elderly gentleman that was already keeled over? His body would course correct itself. It would go back to a younger version somewhere in his mid-20s. And if you think that's science fiction, just keep in mind that they also gave a Nobel Prize to that finding. So it's not, this is no hype at all. In fact, I'd like to show you that on ABC News, Diane Sawyer also, brought it onto the news. It should be.
And now eternal youth. Is it in a cage around the corner? News tonight of a breakthrough for some pioneering mice. But we always wonder, what does a fountain of youth for rodents reveal for humans? Here's Sharon Alfonsi reporting.
I feel tremendous.
In the movie Cocoon, it's a swimming pool that turns back the clock for a group of senior citizens. But now researchers have found a way not just to stop, but reverse the aging process. The key is something called a telomere. Y'all have them. They're the tips or caps of your chromosomes, seen here in yellow. This is what it looks like in a young adult. But as you grow older, the telomeres become damaged and frayed, and as they stop working, we start aging, experiencing things like hearing and memory loss. Scientists took mice who were prematurely aged, added an enzyme, and essentially turned their telomeres back on. You can see it before the enzyme, after.
Their brain function improved, their fertility was restored. It was a remarkable reversal of the aging process.
Look at this picture. The mouse on the right has bad skin, gray hair, and is balding, but the one on the left had its telomeres flipped back on.
And you could see that essentially you now have a dark coat color, that the hair is restored, that the coat has a nice healthy sheen to it.
Even more dramatic, the change in brain size. This is before. The mice had 75% of a normal brain, like a patient with severe Alzheimer's. But after the telomeres were reactivated, the brain returns to normal size.
You know anybody that needs a return of their size of their brain or a bigger brain? Okay. So in 2009, Bill Andrews So he said, I'm going to send over 15 more. He sends over 15 more. He gets another hit. They realize he's not lucky. The man is an absolute genius, as well as Bill Andrews is. All right. These guys dedicate their lives to what they do, to impact world health of humanity. Okay, that's what their mission is. And so he sends over cumulatively 120 compounds. Okay, he gets another 4 hits, a total of 7 hits all together. And as if that's not, profound enough, the miracle was that they were all natural. And they were just blown away. Bill Andrews was absolute. And then John Anderson did something that Bill Andrews thought was impossible to do. And he found 2 more hits that were off the charts. And they both knew that this was going to impact the landscape of world health drastically. We are now on what we call the 4th generation of Isagenix. They are still, John Anderson still sending compounds over to Bill Andrews' lab, okay? And they are currently working on the 5th generation, which they say is going to drastically impact world health, okay? So let me just go through a few testimonies really quickly. No hype. We're not making any claims to cure anything or illnesses or anything like that. We're just going to share with you some of the results that people have gotten. Okay. This is Bill Andrews, the geneticist, product of the product. He's a runner. He's a jogger. If you Google him, you'll see. And he ran this marathon called the Ultra High. He's the oldest person to complete this 60-hour, 138-mile at 18,000 feet high in the Himalayas. He did it in 50 hours and 51 minutes. This man can't wait until he's 70 years old so he can crush the 70-year-old record. Okay. His wife also did this marathon and was never able to get it done within 60 hours. In fact, no woman had ever done it before. But after she started consuming this product, she met him at the top in less than 60 hours. Amazing. Okay. In fact, our mentor, Mr. Dave MacArthur, at age 46, consuming this product after a couple of years, I think it was, started feeling younger, stronger. His body had, evolved and all this stuff. And he said, I always wanted to motocross. And he said, you know what the heck? I feel up to it. Let's do it. 46, got on the motorcycle, started racing with teenagers, started beating teenagers. He was having the time of his life. But like things happen, with athletes, or any sports, he had an accident. But not just any accident, it shattered his leg. Like glass, they said it shattered. Only 6 doctors in the country could work on his leg. Luckily for him, one of them was in the state of Utah. Did 105. And this is him here. He actually said on that Facebook Live, you know what? I think I might consider remarrying again. You know, just an incredible guy. I had a chance to meet him in person. This is Bob Sheridan, the only boxing announcer in the Boxing Hall of Fame, only one. He announced for all of Muhammad Ali's fights, and I believe he was in his late 70s here, 2011 and mid 70s, something like that. But he needed a heart operation. He needed an operation on his heart, but his heart wasn't strong enough to withstand the operation. The doctors literally told him, Bob, just, we're sorry, but if you do this operation, you're not going to make it. There's no way. So they sent him home. They said, you might as well make, preparations. His wife was introduced to Isagenix. Within a matter of months, he started feeling better. His heart started to get stronger. I believe at that point he was able to get the operation. His wife even dyed his hair. He's feeling great. But then at the age of 82 or 83, I think 82, he wound up getting a sports car and got pulled over going 120 miles per hour, so slow down a little bit, Bob. He actually said in an interview in the boxing arena that he feels like he could go on announcing another 20 years. It's quality of life. Like Kathy Tank says, age is just a number. She just turned 73 years old today. I think this is 62, I believe. I got to get that age right. So 62, because at 69, she actually won a bikini contest. Okay, so she went from 2012 to 2016. So she would have been 69, 2000. She would have been 65. I'm sorry. She would have been 65 in that picture. Okay, and then this is her at 70. And she just celebrated her 73rd birthday. She is a bright light in our company, for sure. Okay, Chantel, really quickly, just to give you a different perspective, she had back pain in her life, her entire life. Her father actually died from abusing pain medication because of a similar back pain. She couldn't believe when she started taking this that her back pain was relieved, and she was finally able to sleep, get full nights of sleep. Okay. Her daughter as well had a condition where in the cold, her scalp would get really raw and it was painful to comb her hair. Her condition also, she no longer suffers from that condition as a result of consuming Isagenix. And just to show you, it's not necessarily anybody that's suffering or elderly. That's Dave MacArthur's daughter. She was a dancer. She started to take Isagenix. She showed up, at her dancing classes. And the dancing instructor was like, how are you able to do that? Like she was going beyond her capacity. So for athletes, it's absolutely phenomenal. We also found out that it helps with mental clarity, right? Because if it's rejuvenating cells, it helps towards mental clarity. And our daughter, who's very creative, our 10-year-old daughter, she kind of struggled with paying attention to work. And we knew she knew the work and she could do the work, but it was just, kind of, drifting off here and there. And we started giving her, this is all natural. This is, children friendly, no 800 number. It's all vegan. It's like a piece of broccoli, if you ask me, and we started giving it to our 10-year-old daughter. And then one day my wife and I looked over and we were like, who is this kid? Laser focused. Okay. So also it helps with trauma. If anybody, a lot of times when people have an accident or something, maybe this guy in particular, he couldn't move his right arm. And so they were kind of playing a trick on the person that introduced him to Isagenix. And so he couldn't move his right arm, but they said, he's getting a little bit better. So they show him this video. man around the world. You could Google him, no problem. All right. He formulated a super organic raw food shake. It's a meal replacement. And the problem with our food is that all of us are being exposed to some degree processed food and pesticides, right? Also, some people are only eating processed food. And that's attributing to the obesity, the health crisis that we have on our hands. And the food market, the food industry knows it. And so when we eat processed food and our pH levels go below 7, we go into what's called acidosis. And when our pH levels or our bodies are in acidosis state, we crave acidic food. And it impacts, compounds the problem. Okay. And there lies the problem. The food today, the produce, does not have the nutrients that it used to have, that we keep thinking that if we eat certain foods, we're going to get certain nutrients. That's no longer the case. And there's documentaries everywhere that clarify that. So you can, whether it's Fork and Knife, What the Health, Super Size Me, and the list goes on and on and on. But let me give you an example. In 1953, UCLA, did a study and found in 1953, we only needed 1 bowl of spinach to get the amount of iron for 1 day, right? But in 2007, they discovered how many bowls of spinach you think we would need to get the same amount of iron? 51. Who's going to eat 51 bowls? The problem is that the pesticides, the chemicals that they're spraying to supposedly preserve the food, has killed the bacteria in the soil that allows the minerals to get in the produce. I'm not saying that was their intention initially, but it's a proven fact that as the minerals went down, illnesses go up. And there's graphs all over the internet that show that those comparisons. Okay, so the food, and even organic food, is part of the problem. It's probably it is your best bet, but they still allow a certain level of pesticides to be sprayed, and they don't have the nutrients. Okay, so there lies a major problem. Okay, with 1 shake a day, Dr. Colgan from the Colgan Institute, who trains athletes, he said that 1 shake a day would boost. But about 1,000 sent in their documentation. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 in Kenya's case. No surgeries, none of that stuff. And that's her picture on Facebook, where she posted that she was so grateful that finally she could slam the door and not be concerned about hitting herself or having to squeeze in. Okay, so we're talking about quality of life. My personal favorite story is my good brother, Guillermo Padilla. And he made it so worth it for my wife and I, because his results in a matter of months, him and his wife, and if he's on here today, you'll get to hear his personal testimony, and Jerry will probably cry for us at the end, because it's such a powerful story. and there's so many Guillermos out there, like he says, and we're impacting people's lives. So it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. Okay, there's a 22-minute overview. We've pretty much went about 20 minutes or so on that information. So as far as the science is concerned, on that 22-minute video, there's no testimonies. It's just science on Isagenesis and the shakes. Okay, so you can share that with anybody you like. Foreverpack.com, PAK.com. Foreverpack, it's PAK.com. Okay, but just to close this up, this is one of the most common fast foods throughout the United States. Whether it's a sandwich or whatever, it's pretty much boils down to the same thing. This food has no nutrition at all. We're the most overfed country and undernourished. It's a fact. One shake, maximum nutrition. You need about 90 nutrients in each meal. We have over 200 in one of these shakes. You have more nutrients for 2 meals in one shake. Almost 2,000 calories in just one meal. 240 calories an hour, so low calorie. Women love it. Easy to kind of release weight, with that calorie count. And then $9 just about in 2007. But today we checked it out. It's about $11. That's a supersized meal. This meal is under $3. And even when you combine it with the Isagenesis, it's still under $5.50. Most people on an average save at least $100 a month. Some save 200. My wife saves about 250. She got rid of a Starbucks habit that she had. Once her pH levels, were up, she no longer craved the coffee. She didn't need it. She didn't need the fix to get through the day. Her pH levels were up. She got energy to burn, and the stories just go on and on and on when the body's functioning optimally. So again, health is a habit, okay? And simplicity has never been so profound. Really, in a nutshell, that's my presentation based on the products. But if we can show you how to eat for free, would you give me about 5 more minutes of your attention? And if you're not interested in eating for free, that's fine. But, if you are, stick around. Or maybe, generating some extra income from home. Maybe you want to get rid of a bill and we can show you how to do that you no longer have to pay it on a monthly basis. Or maybe you got a job that you're hoping to not go back to. Okay. So here quickly, the like we said, $164 for the Forever Pack. We used to charge $29 a year to become a wholesale customer. When this whole pandemic thing hit, the company, because of the integrity of the company, like Costco's charges a membership, Sam's Clubs, they're still charging it. We decided to get rid of it. Make it easier for people in a time of need. Okay, you still get the wholesale price. Okay, so you decide to share with other folks, everybody wants to share it with at least two, get their $120. That's distribution. And it makes sense. Isagenix committed to direct their marketing funds, which every company has, and give it to their customers. So it continues to grow and doubles, right? Just on the 6th level, you only had 31 people. Now it doubled. You brought in a new 32 people, right? Everybody just bringing in 2. On the 7th level, now you've created almost $800 residual on a monthly basis, right? But, it continues all the way down. And on the 8th level, you're generating over you're getting $2,200 a month. Just everybody sharing it with 2, and everybody getting those $120 bonuses, 450, 570 altogether, and just get the bonuses. But on the 12th level of everybody just sharing it with 2, that's a $24,000 a month residual income. Everybody just purchasing their forever pack on a monthly basis. That's simple math. And that's financial and time freedom. Because whether you're sleeping or not and people are making their orders, you're still going to get paid because you initiated this organization. But Jerry's personal favorite is on the 13th level. This is compounded. This is compounded numbers. This is exponential growth. And on the 13th level, it's $54,000 a month. And obviously, it's going to continue to go down as people share with just 2. That's how the company generated 315 millionaires to date. Okay. And they have thousands of individuals that generate hundreds of thousands of dollars a year from home. They're actually working on creating 1,000 individuals. They're just about to do it under the age of 35 that generate over $100,000 a year from home with Isagenix. Okay. So just to give you quick math, we showed 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. What if everybody brought in 3? What if they brought in 4? Right? So the total would be just on the 5th level, 31 people, $200, 121 people, 784, 341 people, 2,200. So the math, just calculates itself. The first example was 2 by 2. This is 3 by 3 and 4 by 4. Okay. What about 5 by 5? 781 people in your organization, regardless how they came in, 2, 3, 5, 8, whoever was sharing whatever, but it's 781 people in your organization. That's over $5,000 a month, guys. Right? Whether you continue to go to work or not, other people will continue to share it with others. Can you see? That's called residual income, something you did once, get paid over and over and over again, and leveraged income, getting paid when other people work. That's how wealthy people generate wealth. If you continue to work for money, if you have to be somewhere present to make for money, you'll always work for money. If you, like Warren Buffett said, if you can't find a way to make money when you're sleeping, you'll always have to work for money, period. So we call that bringing heaven to earth. And in closing, last thing, as you're building that residual income, I'll go through this quickly. And if anybody has any questions, we can piggyback on this. But, you bring in those first 2, you become a consultant, you get that $120, right? You got 30 days to do that. Then you got another 30 days to help those 2 people bring in their 2, right? You get $100 every time each one of them bring in their 2. But if you do it within 60 days from when you started, that's an extra $250, total of $570, like we said. Okay, now you got another actually an extra 3 months, of 4 months in total, okay, to bring in 4 more people. So you only brought in 2 initially. They brought in their 2, but you bring in 4 more people direct from you, okay? We help them bring in 2 people each, and I say we because we collectively work as a team. You get 100. very well positioned in our organization. Okay, so there's monthly pools as well for the manager position and the director position and the executive. That's a little bit more advanced compensation, but we can answer that as well if anybody would like to. But again, we took away the $29, and I told this story the other day. This is a no-brainer. It's a 100% money back guarantee, you know, with a lot to lose, because you can't get the nutrition from the food today. And, you know, when I first met Jerry, he passionately talked about having an experience where 5 people that he knew and that he cared for passed away in 7 days. And he went into a depression for about 10 days. And, you know, he committed to do everything possible to try to help people. He went into an extreme regimen to improve his health, but he knew that most people couldn't follow that. And when he saw this, he understood that anybody can follow this. And he knows well that the fork and knife, if that's what you're depending on, is truly, at this point in the game, committing suicide. Because it's a fact that the nutrients are not there that your body requires to not to survive, but to thrive, you know? And if it doesn't get what it needs, it won't do what it could do. And we owe it to ourselves. You owe it to yourself. And I heard this story, and I'll end it with this, and maybe if Guillermo's on, he'll be able to share his testimony. But I was just, thinking about business. I'm an entrepreneur, and I heard the story about Google. Everybody knows about Google, and obviously you know about it now. But before, everybody didn't know about them. Before, they were really small. They were just a tiny search engine, and it was only on a college campus. Sorry, remember I didn't go to high school. On a college campus, and it was working as a search engine. Okay, and they went to Yahoo, who was the big internet provider in the time, and they did a big presentation just like this, what we did for you guys. And they said, we can see it. We're going to impact the world, and we're going to bring this value, and we're going to bring that value. And we know it's going to work because it's working, but we want to do it on a bigger scale. And they offered to sell it to Yahoo at $50 million before it became a household name. $50 million. And you know what Yahoo said to Google at the time? They said, no, thank you. We're not interested. So what I would tell you today, especially if you're hearing this information for the first time, whatever you do, don't be a Yahoo. Order your Forever Pack today. We have a 30-day money back, 100%, no question asked, money back guarantee. Within 29 days, if you're not happy with the results, you get 100% of your money back. Nothing to lose. Okay. With that, I wanted to see if possibly Guillermo was on the line and we can maybe get a quick testimony from him. Guillermo, are you there and you can unmute yourself? Is he there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, he's there. There you go, bro. I wasn't sure if you were here. You ain't gotta have an
No, man. What do you mean? What do you mean you wasn't sure I was here?
I'm not sure, bro. You got a life now. You on the move.
Hey, if Jerry Fast Feet has a presentation, Guillermo's here. I'm just saying.
Front and center. Well, we'll turn it over to you, sir.
Hey guys, thank you for that, man. My name is Guillermo Padilla. I live in Tacoma, Washington, but I'm originally I'm a New York boy. I lived in New York until the age of bad. I was a little depressed, and I really didn't know how to tell him that I was about to quit, you know, because I loved him quite a bit. And I said, man, I don't know how to tell him it's not working. And I was really frustrated. My daughters were on my case because they said that my ankles were all swollen and everything. I said, no, my ankles ain't swollen. I'm just fat. They go, no, your ankles are swollen. And I got to the place where I just said, you know what? I love my Puerto Rican food. Everybody's got to die of something. So I'm going to keep eating my Puerto Rican food, and it is what it is. That's where I was at. You know, I play congas, as you can see back here. And every time I went to a gig, I would just carry them things from my car to the club and sweating like crazy. And I would always tell people, no, it's just hot in here. No, it was me. My heart was probably trying to jump out my chest, and I was in real bad shape. I was hurting really bad. The day that I was going to call Mr. Morris to tell him that I was quitting that company, he calls me and he says, hey, I got to talk to you. I said, I'm glad you called me because I got to talk to you too. He says, me first. He says, I found a product. I'm not trying to talk you into going to another company, but I love you enough to tell you that this product right here won the Nobel Prize, which was the Isagenix won the Nobel Prize. And I really think that you need to take a look at this. I said, it's funny that you say that, man. I was about to call you to tell you that these products that we were doing from this company wasn't working, and I was about to quit. And when I said that, he said, well, let me tell you what's going on. And I was hurting really bad. And he got me on with Dave, and I saw a presentation like this. And I said, I'm ready to go. I wanted to buy every single product that they had because I was at a point in my life where I was just giving up and my health was very bad. And they said, no, just do the Forever Pack. Just do one shake a month. I wanted to do a day. I want to do 5. I want to do 6. I was desperate. He said, no, just do one. And I did that. I replaced my breakfast. Eating yourself enough for your body to burn it as fat and use it as fat, so your body's going into protection mode. Just don't depend on the shakes. He says, eat more and watch. And I did that. I ate a little bit more, and man, my body went, and right now I'm to the point where I've lost 92 pounds, and I am ecstatic. But let me tell you more than that. My wife has done every single company that I've been involved. She's taken every single product and not lost a pound. And my wife is 46 pounds down. And I am so excited, man. Listen, I feel like I'm cheating on my wife because I think I got another woman in my bed. I'm just saying, you know, she doesn't seem to be the same person. To me, she's a totally different person. But on the honest side, man, I can tell you that what Willie and Digna has done for me and my family is they've not only changed my life, they changed my daughter's life. I had a grandson that had a major immune deficiency, and he was in the hospital a couple of months ago. Willie knows about this. He was in critical condition where his blood got completely poisoned. He had an appendix that bursted inside of him. He was doing really bad. He was always in pain, wake up every morning with a stomach ache. He came to one of my presentations and he goes, I need that. And so I bought him, I got him he said for his birthday, he wanted a Forever Pack. He's a 16-year-old, and he started taking the products. After 4 days, he told his mom, Mom, my stomach don't hurt. You have to understand something. This is a 16-year-old boy that for 10 years, he wakes up with stomach ache for 10 years. And here it is now because Willie called me, somebody like me that was hurting. And you know, when you think the blessing is for you, it's not for you. not only was I blessed, my wife was blessed, but more importantly to me,
result would have just been, helping impact your life, it would have been well worth it, but it's been a lot more than that. And we're really grateful. So I think Mr. Jerry Fontanez might have a brief testimony as well. But I'll turn it back over to you, Jerry. Thank you.
Hey, I love it, love it, love it. I appreciate that, Guillermo. And I'm gonna have a surprise because the truth of the matter is that this morning, this little kid opened up the door and started trouble. Normally, that kid is quiet in the morning time. When she wakes up, she doesn't have any energy, so she has some coffee. It takes about an hour for her to get ready and moving and shaking. But here's my mom. Mom, what happened?
Got up this morning and I don't know, I felt different. I was different. I got up, I wasn't dragging, and I just wanted to run a marathon. That's what I felt. I was like, I want to do something. I was so happy.
Her birthday is next week. She's gonna be
71.
She's gonna be 71 next week. And again, she's vibrant, but it takes a while. It's like you gotta crank her up, after about 1 o'clock, maybe she's good. She gets up about 8:30. So that's how long it takes her. She has the routine. She has her routine. She has to walk the dog at 10. But today I was like, you know what? That kid did someone give him candy? What the heck's going on, this kid? And she's been bouncing off the wall all day. And the truth of the matter is that really, really makes me feel good because my mother's always believed in me, and we've had all types of things throughout the years. And like I said, one of her favorite things that she asked me just the other day, and I'm like, I don't know what happened to that, was Zango. And Zango is a product that we actually acquired from another company, so she's looking forward to that. But besides that, she's also very, very finicky when it comes to taste. So if something don't taste good, she's not gonna have it. So she gave the thumbs up to the product. In my case, I can honestly say that while laying down here, I'm in my own room. 5 of my friends died. And on the third day, the only reason I got up because my mother opened up the door. Like, does he have the virus? I think she's thinking, does he have the?
Yes, I got scared. He was in bed for 3 days.
On the third day. You feel the more reps, but I wasn't feeling it. So I stopped at 75. I got afraid because I wanted to be able to walk the next few days. The next morning, which was crazy, I went to work out again because normally you don't work out the next day because you feel it. You feel that you sore, so it's not a day to work out. And I said, wait a second. I worked out yesterday. Wow. And that was that Sunday, 2 weeks ago, when I gave that testimonial. Then the following Monday, which was one day after, I said, let me see if I could push the envelope and get to 100 like I used to do in the 90s. And I got to 100. I like, no way. Now, then tomorrow morning, like yesterday, will be another 100. I do it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Not only doing the 100, but not being sore at all. So the bottom line is that we have some testimonials already. My girlfriend Lude, who's a shy girl right now, but she was on a little while ago, talks about how she was able to sleep. And the thing that happens with us that's been consistent, Lude's sister also says the same thing. You wake up and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
And that's a world of a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Lude there with the, she said the Cuban hair. I'm gonna unmute her real quick.
Cuban hair.
Yeah, that's what she said. She's Cuban hair. But I just want to unmute her because she can say it a lot better than me. Plus, she has that voice. This is La Voz, but not Hector. No, Lude. I'm trying to unmute her. She's muting her back. I think she's blocking it. Let's try this one more time. Mute myself.
She's saying no.
Oh, you don't want to talk? Is that what
No,
you're
she
saying?
wants to talk.
Oh, there it is. Wait, unmute.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
After about, I would say 3 to 4 days, I had the same experience as Gloria. I mean, first, you know that I hardly ever sleep through the night without waking up. But I slept straight through and I got up like ready to go. Just like full of energy, not that thing of like, oh, you want to hit the snooze button or you want to stay in bed for a little while longer, just ready to go. And it's a great feeling. And I sleep better than ever. So, you know, definitely that alone is huge.
Well, can you just mention one more thing if you don't mind? We saw in the testimony, but you mentioned something that I couldn't relate to. You said something about 10:30 in the morning at work. These 4 children, aged 17 to 11. That means mathematically, I figured between 10 to 12 years, these kids will be in college. My 17-year-old graduated today from high school. And I'm like, wait a second. That means I might have, if she goes beyond what would be 4 years, she's studying to be a chemical engineer. I don't know how long that's going to take, right? It might take 6 years. If it takes 6 years, I'll have 3 of them in college because I got them 2 years apart. Simple math. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm making this be my main business to take care of my children. Now, in addition to that, just so you know, I got this thing that came in today, and I'm going to show you what it is. And no, it's not a check, but it is from this company, and they sent me, bam! That's my Isagenix card that I already know what's in there, and what's in there is called the profit margin. Because I know what I invested. See, my brain works as an entrepreneur. How much do I have to invest? How fast can I get my money back so I can play with their money? And what do I have to do? That's a simple way, the way my brain works. I can't help it. Now, the best part of it all is this. I became what's considered a crystal manager. But because of that, I was able to make this young lady here into a consultant who's not here right now, is a consultant 3. And because of that, I'm psyched. So I publicly challenged Dr. Jonathan, because I'm going to make him, even though he's the one that got into the business, we're competitors. I'm going to take him out, baby. Got to take him out. Got to take him out, meaning I'm going to get more people in the business than him. However, we're going to learn how to leverage the compensation plan. So we know how not to lose any dough, because there's people who already know before we go. Oh, anyway. So, no, honestly, guys, this team is phenomenal, and I'm getting ready to go sleep. And I know that tonight I won't be snoring.
Hey, before you go, can I say one thing, please?
Absolutely.
It's in my heart, man. I want
for real.
Together, everyone achieves more.
Yeah, so my mother, as you can see, she's also been an incredible inspiration to me, unknowns to her sometimes. Like, she looks at me, she says, when she watches that video, you don't know you was doing that? Like, Mom, I was doing it. I don't know what the heck I was doing. I just knew I had to win, so you wouldn't whip my butt if I lost the fight. So that's all I thought about. And the other day, she was doing some dancing, and I'm like, man, her feet are just so, and she's like, why? I'm not doing nothing. I'm saying, you don't know what you're doing. So it's that whole thing with that energy and that enthusiasm, that passion, people of similar mind, and also people who are completely out of character. Because for whatever it's worth, Lourdes Perez does not ever get on camera or give testimonials. That's not, and see, my buddy Joshua up there, this is a gentleman who's one of my most loyal students. You see him in the Fontaines Karate shirt back there, Fontaine Martial Arts. He literally got his package today, and I told him, listen, just make the shake. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down if it tastes good. Thumbs up, and try these 2 pills. Now, this guy's a person who I love, who also, rest in peace, his mother just passed away. So all of us, including, I know, Willie, and my mother just said, what did you say?
Together, everyone achieves more.
No, that is mommy.
Oh, if my mother would have been, if I would have known about this, my mother probably would have been alive.
And that's the belief that all of us have, but there's other people's mothers who are alive and want to keep them alive. So don't keep this thing a secret, guys. Do not keep it a secret. But at the same time, I asked the question to Willie based on my financial commitment, that I imagine being able to have no excuses, get rid of excuses because of not just health, but wealth. I can't run up there because of health. I can't go to that vacation because of wealth. No, we have both those things here. And when you need the support team, you have it here. And because of the cyber world, it doesn't stop you. I have literally figured out, my numbers were wrong, that my first 2 weeks is going to add up to 4 figures, because because these children are in a situation that we never had to deal with. And what was that? And is that has been estimated that they are not going to live as long as our children, in other words, our grandkids, on a horrible, horrible situation. And we know it's because the shortening of the telomeres. Little winded, guys, but this would be considered what would be the training or the sharing. And I really appreciate you guys. And I am looking forward to being in the same physical room of all you guys, and doing and having a freaking party, because I know that we're gonna have a ball. Tomorrow we're gonna be sharing some additional stuff, guys. And I will say one other thing that really is pretty insane to me. I'm not sleeping as much. I was sleeping 7 and 8 hours. I'm sleeping now between 6, 5, and one day I did 4. But I'm not dragging. And when I go back to bed to try to sleep again, like, to try to squeeze out another few minutes. I don't want to,
Get up that early.
when you go through the day and you go to that roller coaster ride down, to me, it was Dunkin' Donuts. Anyone who knew me, they knew me. I was having Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I couldn't function. Joe Shoe can attest that right before I taught a class a few months ago, I'm like, I need my Dunkin' Donuts. And he was laughing at me like he's laughing with me now. And it wasn't just a coffee. It was a large one with pumpkin spice during October. And that's when I wasn't going over to Starbucks. So I could absolutely relate to those of you who were addicted to being in that place, Starbucks, where it has good Wi-Fi, so I was able to do that. Anyhow, guys, I'm talking about, we got people here that have honor and respect. That's what we have here. So if you look above, we consider these the gatekeepers. Somebody has to be the gatekeeper to your family, man. You can't let the devil into your home. So someone has to stop that. At the same time, you can't let excusitis come into your home. So when I say gatekeepers, it's about making sure that we are able to stop the nonsense at the door and don't let it get into our head or anywhere else. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. God bless. AB.
See ya.
Soon. Thank you. Be out of here.
How you doing, bro?
Oh, man, don't start this. Don't start this. You don't know. Oh, man. Thank you, man.
All right.
That's the official sound off. God bless.
God bless you too. Good night, everybody.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night. Stop the recording.
Take it easy.
You two guys. Hey, Rashid.
All right, man. And, when he was talking about his mom, I can sort of attest to that, because as I was talking to Jerry, she came in the door, man, and she came in and she was like ricochet rapping all over the place. Pew, pew, pew. I'm like, well, what the hell did she have for breakfast?
So awesome. Yeah, so awesome.
Yeah, that's real. So I'm looking forward to getting my pack soon. I haven't got I keep checking my account, but it hasn't gotten in there yet. But
Okay.
either way you look at it, I still get my pension.
Right.
So I'm going
One way or the other. Yep.
Yeah. All right, man.
Cool. All right, Rashid.
Later.
Have a good night. Good night, everybody.